When San Francisco had their big earthquake, we had 3 brick plants here in Victoria. They worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, making bricks only for San Francisco. When we got telephones, we were actually put in the back of the San Francisco phone book, and originally all our mail, even if it was going to Vancouver, if it was leaving the island for any reason, had to go by ship to San Francisco first, then wherever it was going in the world. Right here on the left, this is the Crystal Garden. Was originally the Crystal Pool, owned by the Empress Hotel. There is a tunnel that goes underground over to the Empress, so the guests were not seen in their bathing suits. Now, in the early 70s, the Empress gave the pool to the city of Victoria, and by the 80s, the pool was rotting. It was cast iron pipes and saltwater pool. So it became a botanical garden and butterfly world. Butterfly world has moved out by Bouchard Gardens. Now it is part of the Victoria Conference Centre. Now straight ahead of us, that big smiling guy in front, that is an Indigenous frog on a replica longhouse on the grounds of the Royal BC Museum. There's also 11 beautifully carved totem poles in that park. Now when we go around this corner, just down on our left, that big concrete tower, that is a Carillon Tower. You might have heard it chiming at 5 o'clock. That was a gift from the Dutch community to Canada, thanking us for liberating them during the Second World War and hiding out their royal family here in Canada. Now when we get through this intersection, on our left-hand side is our BC Legislature building, or Parliament buildings. Also designed by Francis Ratberry. Little known fact is it's backwards. He got into a fight with the builder while they were digging the foundation. To get him back, the builder turned the plans around. That is the rear of the Legislature. The front was supposed to face the water. Also on the grounds are our War Memorial, a statue of Queen Victoria. Right here on our left, this is a monument to James Douglas, and that gold statue on the very top of the Legislature, that is our most famous Canadian of all. That is Wayne Gretzky with his hockey stick. It's actually George Vancouver. On our right, Steamship Terminal building. This is our original port of call building. Also designed by Francis Ratberry. This is now office space, restaurants, and a Starbucks. If you're going to come back and visit us sometime, Blackball Ferry Line. This is the Coho Ferry, runs out of Port Angeles every day of the year, except for 1 month in the winter when they take it out of the water for cleaning and repairs. Next to that is the Clipper Ferry. That is a high-speed catamaran ferry to downtown Seattle. Now across the street, this is the Pendray Mansion, Huntington Manor. The Pendrays had one son. He loved his wife so much, he built her this huge mansion. That is right here on the left, now the Pendray Restaurant. Now the Pendrays, as I said, had one son. They owned 2 companies here in Victoria. They had the Badco Paint Company and they had a soap company. One night, Mr. Pendray was working late in one of the factories when a pipe fell, hit him in the head and killed him. Their son was very distraught about losing his father. He was downtown drinking in the bars. He got extremely drunk, got on his horse and wagon to come home. He fell off of the wagon, and the horse didn't stop, and it crushed and killed him as well. Now, Mrs. Pendray is a widow with nobody to help run the factory. She was corresponding with these 2 young American brothers. They decided to take a ship up here to see her, and when they got up here, she decided to sell the soap company. The name of these 2 young American brothers, they were the Lever brothers. So Sunlight Soap and Lever Soap, that's where it got its start. Now when we get down to this corner, I'm going to turn left. You guys look to the right. Down the sidewalk is Fisherman's Wharf, active fishing wharf. You can buy seafood off of the boats. There's also floating homes, floating restaurants, floating gift shop, floating ice cream parlor, whale watching as well. Lots of yachts and boats there. Now if you own a float home, it is $800 a month for your mortgage fees, and you have no land with that. And if you look down there, that green and yellow one is for sale, and it is $800,000 Canadian. I did the exchange rate this morning to American, and that works out to $203 American. And then right here on this corner, this is a city-run herb garden. Anybody is welcome to trim some herbs. And some of the restaurants downtown do cooking classes where whatever herb you trim, they'll show you how to make something delicious out of it. But straight ahead, the ladies love this story. This is Shoal Point, built in 2000. In 2000, it was the most expensive condo in Victoria. It still is to this day. But back in 2000, the top apartment, $5 million each. There's two of them. They were both purchased by Grammy Award-winning record producer David Foster with his third wife. So there was jokes that at least when he divorces this one, they could be his and hers condos. Well, he cheated on her and the judge made them hers and hers. And then next to that is our West Coast Coast Guard base. We are an unarmed Coast Guard. We do marine navigation, marine safety, marine mapping and exploration, and ice breaking. They also assist with search and rescue, but most of that is done by our military. Now here's the important things you need to know. If you happen to purchase any marijuana products when you're downtown, even though it is legal to travel with it right across Canada and legal in Washington State, it is illegal to take marijuana into the U.S. federally. So what we recommend you do if you bought marijuana so you don't get arrested is just leave it on the driver's seat. The driver will make sure your marijuana gets disposed of in an environmentally friendly manner. But remember, all your bags, your packages, your phones, I'm not allowed to chase you through the gates. If you leave your new iPhone on the bus though, check my Facebook Marketplace listings tomorrow. Now there is a gift shop in the building you guys came out of. If you need any last minute gifts, this is a local family owns this gift shop. The cruise lines are not allowed to have anything to do with any business in Victoria, not like in Alaska. And if you pay in American cash, they give you American change. Now you guys came out of the building with the red trim. From this end, you guys came out on the left side. You're going to go back in on the right side. Right where that big white tent is, you just walk down there, and all they need to see is your cruise ship ID. They do not